Hi, I got Dayton Max 6, and I have a great surprise for you guys today. I'm here with my good buddy Abbas Khatami, IFBB Pro Abbas. It's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute, yes. I've been out of the scene for a while.
Yeah, I owe you this one because we actually are here because Abbas gave me a call recently. Mike, your buddy Mike right here, just competed in North American, did very well over there, and you say, hey, I know this guy Mike. He looks phenomenal. He just competed at the North American. Can we get him on the show? And then I brought this up to Jay, and I mentioned that you had Mike on the show, and he says, oh my God, this is my boy. So this is very rare, you guys, that I get to meet someone who has known Jay longer than me. He's actually known Jay when he was a teenager. So Mike, very nice to meet you, my friend.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
So Jay told me a lot of stories already about you, and he's so excited that you're on the channel. He's so excited that you're on the channel. It's a great honor to meet one of his longest friend, and we're gonna train today. I don't want to give all the secrets, all the little details and stories, but what are we gonna train, Mike, today?
Chest and arms.
Chest and arms.
Chest and arms.
Yep.
What did you do at the North American, real quick?
I was third in the Masters 50 middleweight.
And you look tremendous. I saw some pictures. I told Abbas, send me some pictures. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he was rock hard. Then on top of that, he got fourth in over 40.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's a badass accomplishment, honestly.
You've been competing forever, man. Jay,
My
tell me.
first show is 1985.
Holy.
NPC Natural, Mr. New England.
That's all. We're gonna have a lot to talk about, you guys, but we're gonna get there. We're at Fit Nation today. We're gonna try some chest and arms, right, Mike? And then we're gonna talk some more with Mike and get all the juicy details of when Jay was a teenager.
Yes.
All right, nice to meet you guys.
All right.
12 reads out.
Nice. Rock.
All right, well, Abbas, your guy is impressive.
Yep.
You weren't lying.
You know me,
call
Dave. I'm myself king of condition. That's my
yeah,
nickname,
man.
you know?
How long have you guys been working together? I'm curious.
I've known Mike since '98.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, he's like a big brother to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
He always gave me good advice and led me down the right path, and so I listened to him, and sometimes I didn't listen to him. I was
like a big brother.
Yeah, I was a wild child, but it's more tame now, but I still have that wildness in me. But the first time we finally ever worked together was 2013 for the North Americans, and I had a full 12 weeks with him, and he looked phenomenal, and he was a light heavy then. And then whatever happened in his life, things happened. I think he did some shows, or he didn't do some shows. I don't remember. But then this time around, he came out to me about 6 weeks out. He said, I'm going to do North Americans. I need your help. I said, all right, man, let me see what you look like. He came over to my dad's house out in Yorba Linda. He drove over, and I'm like, dude, you're behind, man. I said, I'm going to be honest. I said, you're behind. I said, you're not going to like what I'm going to do to you. So he's like, I'm fucking ready. Let's do this. I said, okay. So 6 weeks go by. We stay in touch. He sends me some pictures here and there.
Because you're in Arizona right now. Yeah.
I was in Arizona at the time, yeah. So I go to Pittsburgh because I had another client who did extremely well out there. And so I told Mike, I said, listen, Mike, I said, one thing, I said, I have a ticket to go out there. I said, but you're going to have to change my ticket because I got to stay for you. He's like, hey, no problem. I want you to be with me. Stayed in the room with him. I took care of the other client. She did like top 3 in the Masters Nationals.
Nice.
So then we took care of Mike, and as I walked into the hotel, I saw Mike, and I was like, oh, dude, you're sucked up, man. Your fucking face is sucked. Sorry about my language, but this is how it had to happen. This is how I express myself. He's like, wait and see. He's like, feel my hamstrings. I'm like, okay, wait, let's get to the room. So we get to the room, I'm sitting at the desk, and he goes to the bathroom, and he comes out, and I'm like, fuck, motherfucker. He's like, that's the best thing I could have heard. He was rock hard. He was flat, but fucking rock hard. The only thing he had, because he was so flat, because we had to make weight, was he had like some lower back skin, and all that was just because he was so flat.
Yeah.
So we went, he barely made weight.
Middleweight, right?
Barely weight.
Yeah.
I said, so listen, Mike, if you're going to go to USA, there's no way you're going to be middleweight.
Yeah.
You know? I said, we're going to bump you up and fill you out and still look bigger and just as hard. It's all right, no problem. I said, I don't want you to suffer like this.
Yeah.
So we just started carving him up and just kept pushing food. He wasn't spilling over. He's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, okay, are you hungry? Because I don't want your stomach blowing out.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm hungry. I said, okay, eat. And with me, I go off the fly.
Yeah.
I don't have any routine for anybody specifically at all. I go by. That's why I go to my client shows. I'd like to be there to see them. Because the camera and then being in person is like totally different.
Yeah, not the same.
So he just kept eating. So then we cut the water. Friday night, probably about 12 o'clock. So we kept watering all the way till 12. He woke up the next morning. We got up 6 hours later. I said, I'm the fucking alarm clock here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, get up, Mike, let me see what you look like. Took a look at him. Still a little bit flat. We could have filled him out a little bit more. I said, keep eating. By the time the prejudging came around, he was perfect. He didn't. It was, Pittsburgh is hot and humid.
Yeah.
And it was under a tent.
It was outside. Yeah, I heard.
He wasn't sweating.
Wow.
He didn't sweat. He came back out. His tan was still nice.
Not that dry.
And I kept seeing everybody come out from the tent. They were just like dripping.
Yeah.
He was dry.
Wow.
It was.
That tells you right there.
He was so happy. I was like, come on, man, get away from the fucking window. The mirror. I said, we got to do things. I'm just so happy. I'm looking, and he was so excited. He FaceTimed me from backstage and said, let me see how you look, this and that. And he was just like, pretty much almost like in tears. He was so happy with how he looked. And this is the best shape he's like coming as long as I've known.
1,200 carbs in less than 50 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm starving.
Yeah.
So, Mike, when was your last show before this one?
The North America's 2013, and
so it was a big layoff. 7 years.
Yes.
Why did you stop for 7 years? No competition.
Get my son through college. Get my son into college. Work on my real estate business. I work at Pacific Sotheby's with Nick Rushdie team, and
another one of Jay's good
yes,
buddies.
we do high-end real estate flips, wholesale homes, and now I'm currently working with Pacific Stem Cells.
Also, you work for them also.
Yes,
Okay.
I will be signing a contract this week and have a small piece of the company. We do hormone replacement therapy, testosterone therapy, stem cells, peptides, growth hormone.
Yeah.
So please.
That's the new thing right now.
That is
A lot
the
of
new
people.
thing.
Yeah.
I can show anybody over the age of 35 how they can stay like this.
Wow.
It is not a secret. It's expensive. It's worth it, but
it's
if you
possible.
want to lift, it's possible.
Yeah.
I was paralyzed February 13th, 2009. I couldn't move my arm.
Really?
Backstory. I got rear-ended on the highway. So I went in to my chiropractor. Nerve damage all down. Couldn't lift my arm for months.
Oh my God.
So I got fact. I started walking. Couldn't lift anything. Got a little depressed. And went to see my chiropractor and so on. Got a little better. Sent me to PRP. Worked. Good. Realized my friend Mike was the owner of Pacific Stem Cells. Went in there, said, no, you need stem cells, you need this, and this. We've been tracking it with videos, and we're going to do my whole body over the course of the next year. We're going to rebuild my whole body.
Wow.
That's how I lived over 100 years old doing this.
Yeah, I told Mike, I said off camera, how much longer you want to do this? You're 55 already. He says, what did you say?
I'm going to do it till I'm 120.
There you go.
I'm 40 years in.
Yeah.
Working out since 15, 55, 40.
Well,
80 to go.
You have plenty of time ahead of you.
This guy
I just need the money.
Stuff,
Got to make the money to live that long.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, because you're very limber. I mean, I was actually shocked. I was asking, do you have any problem with your shoulders? Which a lot of times, bodybuilders have problem with their shoulders. Not so much because they get hurt, but wear and tear and all that stuff.
I had
so
it
yeah,
last year.
Yeah.
All gone.
Yeah, wow.
Every ache and pain.
Wow.
I got my peripheral vision back.
Wow.
Snoring's down 30-40%.
Really? Wow.
Memory, remembering back 50 years ago to childhood, stuff that I didn't even know happened.
That's
just
crazy.
Random. My eyesight is not better. It is brighter.
Oh, gotcha.
Brighter.
Do you guys have Instagram? Do you know what it is?
Everything will be up and running within the next week.
Okay,
You can
okay.
email me at mike@mikecambra.net or Mike at Pacific Stem Cells.
Okay, we'll put that in there. We'll put that in there. That's awesome. Okay, so I want to talk about Jay real quick because when I told Jay that I was gonna film you, he was so excited. He doesn't get excited about a lot of
He gets
things.
excited about nothing.
Doesn't get excited about a lot of things.
Zero.
It takes a lot to get him excited. But when I mentioned your name, he was like, "Oh my God, you don't understand. Mike has known me since I'm a kid." So here's what he told me, and then I'll just kind of get you started, and you can fill in the blanks. But he said when he first came to California for the very first time, it was right after the Arnold Classic around March 1999, I think.
Yes.
Okay, and he was doing the New York Pro.
Yes.
He won the New York Pro, and then that's when he said, "Okay, I want to move to California." He told me you picked him up at the airport the following November or around that time.
Yes.
You took him to open a bank account. You took him to go sign the lease on his house, all that stuff. So you were one of the very first one who got him established in California, and that's awesome. So talk to me a little bit about what you remember around that time.
Well, I take care of people from Boston. And
You're from there.
I'm from Boston also.
Okay.
I was the first to go out. Then Paul DeMayo and Mike Matarazzo, we all went to Ed Connors. I wasn't big enough, and I didn't have big legs, so Ed Connors didn't want me. Sorry, Ed.
Rejected.
They all came from Boston, and that was a tragic ending for those two great guys.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to help this big guy from Boston. My trainer knew him. My trainer was Chris Aceto back then, and that's how I met Jay.
There you go.
But I didn't meet him 2 years later. I just knew who he was. He knew who I was.
Through Chris. Okay. Wow. So tell me how was he as a kid? Because you know what, I know him he's so serious now all the time. He's so put together. He's so smart, and he's so he's someone that I look up to. But I wish I had met him when he was just a kid. A young, stupid kid. Was he ever stupid or no?
No, just very, very quiet. I used to see him in the gym.
Was he shy? Is that why?
Yeah, not much. Yeah.
Okay. I have a hard time believing that he was shy.
Just quiet, quiet or mind his own business. Not a loudmouth like a typical guy from Boston. But yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how it was. You actually had him at your house. You were telling me.
Yeah, he stayed with me for 4 or 5 days until his apartment was ready, and I never had a toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He made me sandwiches, and smoke detectors went off in my house, and all my dogs had 3 dogs that were barking, waking up my pregnant wife.
Oh my God, really?
True story.
Why, you burned the bread? What do you do?
Burn the bread, yeah.
That was nice of you to do that. And why did you, how did you, so Chris had talked to you about Jay, but how did you get to know him to actually go pick him up at the airport, or how did you guys became friends,
I'm a
basically?
good guy, that's it.
So you're just...
Yeah, that was our first interaction. Hey, I'll come and get you. Sure you will. Hey, I'm coming. I'll be there. I was
Wow.
On time.
That's awesome. And so he moved shortly to Aliso Viejo after that.
Got him an apartment. Then I think he spent 1 year in the apartment.
Yes.
Then he bought a condo down the street. I was his real estate agent.
Oh,
and
that's
I sold him the house
right.
also.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yes.
that's right. You rented first, and then you bought the condo in Lake Forest. That's right.
And then he said, hey, I want to go move
To Las Vegas.
to Las Vegas. And he ended up buying a 1-level house, the one he still owns.
Yeah, in Summerlin. Okay. He was very close to Paul Dillett also, right? You guys were all in the same neighborhood.
I owned a gym with Paul Dillett.
You did?
Yeah,
What was it called?
Fit and Firm.
Okay. Was it the gym that was all black in the office with the black
dark,
office?
yeah.
Was it? That was in the
97
Battle for the Olympia. Okay, I remember. Oh, you were. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I met Paul, and I met him in '91 when we competed in North Americas.
Okay.
I moved out in '92. We trained for the whole year.
Wow.
I went to Boston. He called me. I moved to Florida. Then we moved back to California.
Okay. He was telling me, Jay, that you three right here. He told me Abbas and Mike. This was like the original
Nick.
crew,
And
Nick also the original crew. He says we used to train together, we used to compete together. He says
all sorts of attitude.
yeah.
All sorts of testosterone in the room. At the old World's Gym.
That's right.
Yeah.
In Lake Forest,
Rockford,
right?
one of the best gyms. Oh,
I know. I remember that. Dennis Newman used to
Yes.
train there. Remember that?
Dennis worked for me. I had the homeopathic growth hormone company, and Dennis was my spokesperson.
Oh wow!
And that lasted about a year and a half.
What a small world.
Yep, this is everybody's kind of linked together here, you know.
That's awesome. And then he helped you prep for a few USAs.
Yeah,
I
the
remember.
first time I actually met Jay was I was visiting a girl I was seeing in Rhode Island, and there was a show. Jay was just sitting behind like a table signing his pictures. And I walked up to him, and he's like, "Hey, you're Abbas," and I said, "What the fuck?" And this guy knows me. I'm like, "You look great," you know. And I'm like, "Thank you, man. Nice to meet you." This and that. So we kind of stayed in touch a little bit, and then, you know, as Mike said, he moved out to California, and then I would see him here and there, and just naturally just became friends because I was originally born and raised on the East Coast as well, so.
Where, Abbas?
In DC.
Oh, okay.
So anybody who's either from Chicago or East Coast or Northeast, I just get along with them.
Yeah,
you know?
they're good
so
people.
we just all got along. They're just good people, like you said. Yeah. And 99, I went to Cal. I went up there. I saw Jay. Mike was there. We all went out. I mean, not up there, but we went out when he moved to California a few times. We had great times. And then 2000, 2001. When Jay was in Vegas, he helped me for the USAs.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. I mean, it was different. It was, you know, who would think? I mean, he just seemed like just an ordinary guy to me. He never acted like he was better than anybody else.
He's still like that today, though.
So
he's great about that.
he was just awesome. You know.
Yeah.
Let me stay in his own room in one of his houses, and it was nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Most people that have known him for many years, you know, his buddy Matt and Nick and all those guys that have known him for, always tell me, because I became friends with him a little bit later in 2001.
Yeah.
So you guys have known him, you know, earlier than me. And people always say the same thing, that he's always the same now as he was in his teenage years. You know,
He said he's going to do something, he'll be there. I said I was picking up. What do you mean? That's not coming again.
But I mean, even the ego. There is no ego with him. He's just Jay, you know.
Yeah. See him at the
where he
shows.
comes from?
Yeah.
And we just kind of like pick off where we left off. You know, like if I don't see him for a year or two, and if I see him at the Olympia, I know he's busy. I'm just like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Because he's got to do his thing, you know. I'm not gonna go up there and bug him like a fan. I just. You know, he's doing his thing. He's doing his work, and that's it.
Yeah, he tells me, Mike, I just sent him a picture, and he says, Mike must love bodybuilding more than you, Derek Farnsworth, and everybody put together. That's what he says about
Derek, 619 muscle.
That's right, you know, Farnsworth and Pete Ciccone, you know all these guys,
I knew him from competing. They lived closer to Jay. I was there, but I competed against Derek when he was a teenager.
Yeah, he's still going too, just like you, man.
He's better than
ever. He looked great this year. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Everything was the best ever.
I don't even think he's doing stem cell. Imagine if he was doing stem cell.
No, but I went down there to talk to him about it, and I didn't see him. About 3 weeks ago.
He's great. We love Derek. Yeah, you're right. I think all the people, and I think Chris Aceto told me that. He says, you know this? Told me that. He says, most of your best friends are all from the New England. And I'm like, yeah that's true. They're all from back east.
When I was at Jay's house, Chris Aceto came over at one of the times that he got me ready for the show. And it was kind of crazy. I didn't know who Chris was at the time. And I was like in my own world. I was like in my own zone. So now people tell me stories about back then. I was like, wow, I don't remember that because I just went there to compete. I didn't go there to do anything else but to destroy and compete. And And then I'd be sitting in my tub or something, just taking a bath, and I'd be writing notes for the next year. What I was going to do. So that's how we did it. You know? Nowadays it's kind of different, but kind of got to just go with the flow.
Yeah, man. A lot of social media going on, and a lot of distraction and all that stuff. So, Mike, now you're back on the competitive trail. You're not stopping.
No, 12 weeks today to the Masters USA.
In Los Angeles.
So now I have my hands on him for 12 weeks.
But he's so ready. I think I think as a light heavy, he'll look much better. He's so peeled right now. He's just gonna fill out. That's the plan, right?
We're just gonna fill him out for the next like 5-6 weeks. And then in the right way, slowly. You know, and then so he won't really hold any fat at all.
Yeah, he's in condition already.
Bring him down like the last 5 weeks or so. So he'll be a nice, full, ripped, light heavy.
What do you want to do with this, Mike? What with bodybuilding? I mean, you're gonna.
This is it.
I'm not
This is the last one.
You're not gonna compete anymore. You get pro status and that's it. Really?
We
So
came
that's-
very close.
So that's
They
the
actually-
achievement. You just want to get pro status, and
It's just it's on my bucket list. I
Okay.
wanted to be acknowledged as the best that day, and it's tough to let go.
Okay.
And now money's here.
Yeah.
Now I'm buying back my time.
Yeah.
My kids
Yeah.
in college doing exceptional.
Wow.
My other guy over here, he's doing great with life and bodybuilding.
yeah,
Me and my wife have been together almost 29 years.
nice.
She still loves me, likes me most of the time. But the case
She's a
is,
sweetheart.
we're empty nesters. I want to rebuild a life. Bodybuilding has sucked the life out of our life for a long time. It's a very hard sport.
I'm
We've
glad you mentioned
overcome
that.
a lot.
Okay.
I didn't turn pro in the 90s because I was addicted to using and all this other stuff.
Oh, wow.
If you want to leave this in, that's fine. Cut it.
Hey,
But-
I don't edit, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I got off track, and I've been clean for 21 years. But that did take away something, so that's what this is about.
Oh, okay.
At
Redemption.
55, yes.
Yeah,
Has
redemption.
nothing to do with the trophy of the place. When Abbas said, "How did you do?" I was crying because I looked in the mirror and I saw what I saw today, and I did it.
Wow.
I said I was going to be the best that day. I
Yeah.
can't control what 7 strangers think.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no audience.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah, that
7
stinks.
judges, and I was my best in one
See,
side.
and that's
Ah.
what shows like
It was terrible.
pure love of the sport right there. Is that he didn't care about his placing.
I
He
know.
was just so happy with
To reach that
how
goal.
he looked.
Yeah.
And that's what made me happy. I was like, because this guy, like, you know how many, there's so many people that have poor sports.
Yeah.
That think that things are owed to them. That they got to go there the first time they should win, or second time, or
Yeah.
third time. It took me 10 years.
I know.
Okay, so don't complain.
Yeah.
And then when he was backstage and we're FaceTiming, he was like literally almost in tears because he did so well. And I was watching him on like live stream.
Yeah.
They put him in the middle. I was like, oh
Wow.
my God. And I'm on the phone with his wife.
Yeah.
I'm looking on my phone. I'm like, I think she's watching the same thing too. And I was like, fuck, I think he got like first or second.
Yeah.
The worst second. But you know, he got third. But for him, like, just
It's
to
a
see
win.
that, like, that attitude.
Because
of
I already
getting
knew what
third.
was happening.
Yeah.
Full light heavyweight,
Yeah,
December.
he-
No.
That
I'm
made me
starting
happy.
at 5%.
Yeah.
At 185.
Yeah.
So in 3 weeks, so 3 weeks, I gained 6 pounds of muscle,
Yeah.
and I went from 3.8% body fat to
Because
5.2.
he's been doing the hydrostatic, like, water testing.
Yeah.
12
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And monitoring myself.
Yeah.
12 years.
Wow.
Because I knew this had to happen.
Yeah. Mike, you get quite a story, man. That's great. I'm really glad you came in today. Like I said, it's very rare that I get to know people, meet people that know more about Jay than I do. But you two were great.
Ready? This is how long I've known Jay. I walked scraps as a puppy before, or right as he turned pro, whenever that
So
was.
that was 96. Yeah, 96 is when he passed
He was
pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, 96, 7, I don't know. I walked the
Wow.
dog.
Wow. We miss Scrappy, man. He was such a good dog. Damn.
All his dogs.
That's
His
how
dogs were
far
there
I go back.
when I was there at his house.
You know, he lost it once. He went to go train at Gold's Gym, at the World's Gym in Lake Forest, and he was walking him, and he somehow Scrappy got lost, so he had to leave without the dog. And when he came back, he was crying, and when he came back, the dog was sitting right where the car was, and he found it again. Yeah, but he,
Old Scraps knew his smell.
yeah,
They,
I was like, oh my God, you must have flipped out because he loved that Scrappy.
oh my gosh.
That was a big deal when he
He never
died.
trusted anybody. I was the first person he ever
Wow.
trusted in my life. Yeah, I want to walk your dog. I have 3 of my own. You're not even famous.
Well, I gotta say, he said some very, very nice things about you when he was reminiscing with me. He said, "Oh, you gotta tell him, you gotta have Mike talk to you about the old days." And thank you so much for coming on the show, you guys. You look great, but aside from that, the stories were even better than how you
Thank
look. I wish you the best of luck in 12 weeks. We should film again before the show, like,
sure.
you know,
Yeah.
this
Because you never know where they're going to hold it, so.
yeah, we hope. Still
It's
California.
either
Probably
going to
California,
be
yeah.
Los Angeles
Yeah,
at the
well then
airport
we'll be to
or
Vegas. Yeah, yeah.
So you'll be here either way.
Yeah, let's get together again
sure.
closer to the show, maybe a couple weeks out, and so we can compare. How's that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
Sounds
date.
good.
All right,
Thank
thanks, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, thanks.
Jay, thank you.
Bye bye. Jay, bye.